All right, you see it. I'm starting it early. I originally scheduled this for 7:25. Decided to start it early because why not? And I'm making this a purposeful donation stream because, as y'all know, I am getting through cancer, getting through blood clots, an amputation, and I've been in a wheelchair for the last 6 months. And I'm trying to get my leg strength back I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to get back to work. I'm trying to get my leg strength back. And I can honestly say that for the last few weeks, I've operated in fear. Why have I operated in fear? Because I've seen so much of an influx just here on YouTube alone. Let me find something. Just here on YouTube alone, where I see people doing what I've done for 30 years and not being able to do it correctly. But I'm putting that fear to rest now. And I am making sure that I no longer operate in fear. As BGS just said, and I want to shout him out tremendously, don't be afraid to fail. I've been operating in being afraid to fail since I got diagnosed with cancer. Let's see who's in here. Adrix, the first one in. He says, let's do this. Terrell Boxley says, what's up, Snowman? What's up, Terrell? My brother, the Inspired Truth podcast is here. He says, we're in here. The Hog TV, who usually bothers me on my morning show, but I love him dearly. Good to see you in here. David, great to see you. Happy early Father's Day, says the Hog. Thank you very much. I'm very proud to be a dad. Matter of fact, let me show y'all something here. I had never received a Father's Day card ever. Well, since I've been married to Jody, she's given me Father's Day gifts. But up until a few years ago, I had never gotten a Father's Day card. That is until my beautiful daughter Cheyenne presented me with this last year. And I have kept it in my office every day since as a reminder to myself that I am doing the best thing. Thank you, David. Thanks for the Father's Day wish. Thanks for the early Father's Day wishes, everyone. Where do y'all want me to start? I figure I made this an Ask Snowman Anything, but I am going to do my WNBA report or their idea this week in the W. I am going to make that alive. All-Star G, there's no such thing as a father in the community. Exactly. That's why I got the hell out of the community. That's why I got the fuck out of the community. Fear will paralyze. Be brave. Shout out. Step up. If you don't go out on a limb, then you won't get the fruit. Absolutely true. And I have to remember that. I especially have to remember that now when my favorite sport, baseball, is in motion. When there's a UFL championship to be called on Sunday, snowman style. And I think I'm going to change it. And I think I'm going to add a title, even though it's still going to be in the Snowman Broadcast Center. I'm going to add a title that says Through Snowman's Eyes. Through my eyes, my ears, I want y'all to get a vision of what I see when I do a play-by-play call. I'm going to take you inside the virtual booth, and then when I get back out into calling games, either in this community or wherever community that Jody and I land, I want to give y'all a look inside the booth each and every week or each and every game that I do. So throw your questions in the chat. I am here. Let's talk. Let me start with this. I did an episode earlier today of Diary of a Mad Snowman. And I said 4 words that men were never supposed to say. Oh, 2Trip211, I love you. Thanks for the Cash App donation. I said 4 words in my episode earlier of Diary of a Mad Snowman that I never was supposed to say. And as my beauty comes in, will y'all give me a minute? Sorry about that, folks. Checking in with the wife. Um, I know after I hop off here, I got to get some laundry done. So bear with me. I'm sorry about that, but when the wife comes home, have to say hi to her. I got to steal a kiss and all that good stuff. But going back to where I was to what I was doing earlier, I did an episode of Diary of a Mad Snowman, and I said I am not fine. Four words that are never supposed to be uttered by a man. Let's say that again. Four words that are never supposed to be uttered by a man. I didn't utter them. I said them aloud. And I explained why. I was frustrated with everything that's going on. Arku, thank you for watching it. I was absolutely bleeping frustrated with everything that has gone on in the past couple of days. I've been frustrated with everything for the past 3 years. I've always said in the diary. I've always said in the diary, the worst way you can hurt a man is two things. The worst way you can hurt a man is to take away two things: his family and his ability to provide and help his family. A lot has gone on and a lot has happened in 3 years. But I'm still standing and I'm still kicking. Why do I do this? Primarily to get some help so I can feel like y'all are getting my message and that I'm helping somebody. Why did I start Diary of a Mad Snowman? First of all, it was a wonderful title, and thank you to Charles Faulkner for that. And secondly, it was a perfect title for me to open up about everything, everything that went through my life, my childhood, my adulthood, my good relationships, my bad ones, my wonderful marriage that I'm in right now, my children, everybody, everything. Nothing's off the table. That's why I titled it as such. That's exactly why I titled it as such. I do have another channel that I'm putting in motion now where I really, really get blue, as they say in Hollywood. I'll put that in the chat. And if y'all can subscribe to that, that would be great. That's the first. That's the first thing. But people don't understand how hard it is as a man to go through cancer and to beat it and to still get all of the shit that's thrown at you. It's like the government says to you, you beat cancer, hooray, now go back to work. What? How the fuck can I just pick up and go back to work and I'm not fully recovered yet? Don't care, go back to work. So now after what's happened earlier, so all right, I'll fix you. I'll fix them. They don't want me to they don't want me to get any help. Fine. I'll do it my way. And I'm doing it this way, as I said, so I can help my family and get some things off my chest. Now, Mr. Sugar you says tuning in from the clouds, cutting gas and weeds. I appreciate that. Speaking of which, I'm going to ask a question. You can't force people to go back to work if you don't feel 100%. True. Very true. What's up, Rising Rhino? Hey, Rhino, what games you got this weekend? Because I'm doing the UFL Championship on Sunday. And I'm doing, I think, Angels and Giants on Saturday. If you like what you're hearing so far on this on this here episode, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and do me a favor, help me and my family with a Cash App donation. It would be so much. It would be so great. I would be so grateful, and so would my family. Hey, what's up, Jedi? Good to have you in here. And Jedi, I'm going to honor your request. Jedi asked me if I would talk about the state of a man's mental health after going through everything everything that I've been going through. Jedi, you're going to get your wish. Before I hit the W, I must honor this request. A man's mental health can be and will be tested in all sorts of ways. Just don't know which way. I got a couple of friends that I'm going to interview next week that battled and beat cancer. And I'm going to do the interview live on this and like 2 other channels. And I can't wait to do it. They have sympathized with everything that I've gone through. And I have a few organs missing. Does the PhD? I can relate. I went through a triple bypass at 45. Not easy. No, it's not easy. This was the first major surgery I've had in my life. And when I say major, as I said, 5 organs are gone. Not to mention part of my stomach. But it's something else to go through all this and then just to see that a lot of people just don't care. Outside of family. I better put that in. Outside of family. Because if it wasn't for Jody, I wouldn't be here. Jody saved my life. Yeah, Terrell. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And I beat it. I'm in remission. Recently, my right big toe has been amputated. And it all started 3 years ago this month with blood clots. In 3 years, because June 9th was the 3-year anniversary of me going home from, well, actually, June 5th is the anniversary. That's when I wound up in the hospital. June 5th is the anniversary that I was diagnosed with bilateral blood clots. Bilateral blood clots in both my lungs. And thank you, Terrell. I care also. I care about everybody that's in the chat right now. You know what's not fair? People who flat out don't. Because I had to deal with an asshole last night on a friend stream that said something to the tune something he said this guy's always asking for cash apps. He says he's from Indiana and that he had his pinky toe bitten off. Let me address that troll. First of all, I'm from Chicago. Second of all, it was my big toe that was bitten off. And third of all, it happened. Yeah, Terrell, double blood clots. I laid on a table skinnier than me for 2.5 hours while they sucked all the blood clots out. And the other days I was in the hospital, they worked on the rest. I am now on a blood thinner for the remainder of my life, and that's fine with me, as long as I'm here. Jedi, I'm glad you came in here, and I'm glad you said, let me use this mouse here. The thing that destroys me is that we have to lie and say that we're fine when in reality we aren't. During English, I wrote a poem about how tired I am from running from everything. Well, Jedi, you need to check out my latest Diary of a Mad Snowman, because I said four simple words that a man is never supposed to say out loud, and I said them louder than anybody. I am not fine. Let me say that again. Gentlemen, it is okay at times for you to say, I am not fine, when you're not fine. It's okay to say that. It's okay to say, I am not fine. Sure, you power through it. Sure, you smile. You try to smile. But sometimes you just have to say for a few minutes, let me have a few minutes because I am not fine. That's what people have to remember. You know, my wife on a daily basis tells me just be yourself. My wife, the love of my life, my woman, my right hand, my number one, my 10 toes down, my ride or die. There are times she'll know when I'm in the dumps and she'll just give me a hug and say, talk to me. In a relationship like this, you know, the first thing I was afraid of, having a choice. As silly as that sounds, it's the truth. I wasn't used to it. I wasn't used to having a choice. I wasn't used to having my opinion matter. And here it does. And there are some days it still catches me off guard. I can't lie. There are some days it still catches me off guard. Other things that catch me off guard, having a choice. Having a woman say to you, what would you like? I wasn't used to that either. And it took me getting out of the community to realize that. Jed, I know how you feel about hating to make people worry, but I have people that live here in this house with me and in the community that I'm in right now that worry about me. And I'm happy for them that they do, because it allows the friendships to grow and it allows us to grow. Just remember, gentlemen, it is okay to say, I am not fine. If you can't mask it, they can't mask it. And they do love me, and I love them dearly. Anybody, and I mean anybody, tries to do harm to my family, I'm going to jail. Somebody fucks with my family, I'm fucking them up, disabled or not. Terrell, I'm in Indiana. Where are you located? Where are you guys located? Let me know where you're located. I know we're about an hour away from game 4 of the NBA finals, and I'll try to about an hour and a half away. And I'll try to keep everybody on schedule. Arku is in Dallas. Dusty PhD is in Connecticut. Cool. You a Husky fan? I was born in Elkhart, and oh my gosh, Mr. Shug's in my hometown, Chicago. Terrell, I got a funny story for you about Elkhart, Indiana. In 2015, I was covering the Marquette Catholic girls basketball team, and it was their first game of the season. And we had a game to do in Elkhart. So I'm getting the roster together. Now, mind you, I haven't had a chance to study the girls or their profiles. I was just told notes by the coach and the athletic director, and they said, go from there. We'll make sure that you get to know the girls throughout the year. Cool. Because this came at the last minute. This came at the last minute. Terrell says, but I live in Fargo, North Dakota. Went to college in Moorhead, Minnesota. Familiar with both of those places. I used to live in Minneapolis. And Dusty PhD confirmed what I thought. Aren't you glad that Dan Hurley told the Lakers thanks, but no thanks? But yeah, I was covering Marquette girls basketball. We had a trip to Elkhart, Indiana. First game of the year. And I recap the I recapped the starting lineups. I did Elkhart's first because they were the home team, and then I did Marquette's, which was the team I was covering. And they had a young lady on there by the name of Morgan Crook. Well, my mind went to Richard Nixon, and I said, Morgan, I am not a crook. And I swear to y'all, every parent that was in front of me, either cheering for Elkhart or cheering for Marquette, busted out laughing. I have family in South Bend. I'll be in South Bend next weekend with my wife, helping her out at an event. And allow me to be honest with you, Brian. The first time I had a mental breakdown on stream, I had people in the chat, and it helped me realize that I had people that cared. Well, add me to that list, Jedi, because I do care. I do care about everybody that's in the chat and everybody that interacts with me. Jedi, where in Ohio are you? Terrell says I have family in South Bend. Let me get back to what I was talking about, just to stay on topic here. My family and sports and doing this have kept me alive. Point blank. And to tell the story about how I met Jody, 2018, I had just gotten back to Michigan City. I was homeless. I was trying to get everything together because football season was on the way. It was a couple of months off, but I like doing a lot of preparation for it. Well, about that time, I started getting very, very, very depressed. Mojo, thanks for the Cash App. Much appreciated. I started getting very, very depressed. And it got to a point where I said, fuck it. I'm done. I was just on the edge of that cliff and I was thinking, how do I end this? How do I end this pain? How do I end this sadness? How do I end this depression? You know, it got so bad. It got so bad. The year prior, it got so bad that I had a job interview, went to job interview, was okay, but I had nowhere to put my bags, and my bags were full. I don't know if I greeted him, but I'll say it again. What's up, Volcanus? Bags were full. Didn't have anywhere to put them. Couldn't leave them at the job. I had to haul 2 heavy bags out of there. Later on in the diary, when I get time, I will queue up the episodes of My Life in 2 Bags and play them for you. But just in the last 3 years, My mental health has been sorely tested just with the health problems. Depression, also anxiety. When I went home, I was so happy the first time. Then we get a call saying they discovered a mass on the left side of my abdomen. That mass turned out to be pancreatic cancer. Like, okay, fight this off. Change diet, all of it, everything. And I started taking chemotherapy, oral chemotherapy. I didn't do the shots, I didn't do the infusions, I didn't do the radiation, and the chemotherapy, in short, fucked me up. I was terrible when I was on that chemo. It was bad. It was really bad. Even between moving from North Carolina to Indiana. And thank you, Ray Hamna, and welcome. Even during the move from North Carolina to Indiana, on the 2 weeks I was off the medicine and slowly getting back to myself. And just when I get back to myself, I had to go back on the medicine. It was bad. It was awful. I didn't know what to think or do. It was awful. Then that's when November of 21, we drove from Indiana to Durham, North Carolina at Duke University Hospital. Yeah, chemo is very much poison. Doesn't matter if it's oral or if it's in the shot, it's poison. Then in November of 21, as I began, we drove from here in Indiana down to Durham, North Carolina. Went a night early, spent the night together, wife and I, was feeling great. I mean, we had the windows down. We were yelling out we were yelling out songs and singing them and everything. That's why I love road trips with my wife. That's why I love road trips with my wife. Hey, Cameron, welcome in. If you like what you're hearing so far and me laying everything bare before I get to the main event, do me a favor, help my family and I with a cash app so we can not only keep some groceries coming in, but I can help out in small ways that I can, like keeping gas in both vehicles, as I said, with the groceries and laundry and all that stuff. Help us out, please. We need it. Those fuckers at Duke told my wife straight out to uh, get her affairs in order. Cried all the way back. But that's when she had just started working. I spent most of my days in bed. I barely sat up to do the morning show. And as soon as I did the morning show, I climbed right back in bed and passed completely out. Passed completely out. Then she got insurance. My wife did through her employer, which means I got insurance and I had a chance to meet my now oncologist, Dr. Boganath. Explained to him what's going on. He looked at all the tests and he said, you know what, let me make a phone call. And he made a phone call to who's a very dear friend. He's now in Boston, Dr. Attila Nakib. And before I could blink, we had a surgery date set up. Because when we met him in March of 22, he pulled a paper towel. True story. He pulled a paper towel off of a roll and started drawing the organs that need to come out. And when he started doing that and explaining it to my wife's the brilliant one of the family, my ears perked up. I looked him dead in the eye and I said, "Can you get this thing?" He said, "Don't worry, we'll get it for you." Then the call came that we all were looking for, and that's to schedule my surgery. We scheduled it for April 4th, 2022. We went to Indianapolis a day early, watched a little basketball, watched a little television. Grocery gang. Thank you, Inspired Truth. The super chats will be great also, because I really want to get this going. Side note, I really want to get this going with the super chat, so I can turn this into $1,000 a month income. Why am I putting a target on it? Because I want to help my family. I want to have a little bit more responsibility in the success of my family. If it starts with the groceries, it starts with the groceries. So be it. That's where it starts. And Inspired Truth, man, I love it. Grocery gang, I love it. Man, had surgery, made it through. Android, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. And since then, just been trying to keep it and hold it together. I'm going to get back to doing my play-by-play. I promise that. I promise that. No more fear in doing it. I don't care. Everything I thought of before, as of this moment, because you guys have inspired me and because my family has inspired me, is out the window. I'm going to get back into doing what I love to do and doing it full time to turn it into an income. If it's through YouTube and Spotify, so be it. But I'm going to put my all into this. And speaking of putting my all into this, now for the main event. And Mr. Suge, I hope you're still around. Hey, WNBA, this is the bag. This is you dropping the bag. The jealousy is quite real of Caitlin Clark, who is engaged, by the way. If Caitlin, I'm going to say this out loud, and people ain't going to like it, but I'm going to say it. If Caitlin Clark don't get the hell out of there soon, there's going to be trouble, and lots of it. Now, since Angel Reese in recent rankings have taken over the top spot in the Rookie of the Year voting, and the voting doesn't happen until September, now everybody's saying the right choice. Which leads me to a funny segment, and I got to shout out BGS for giving me this idea. It's a small prelude. So it's going to wind up becoming a full production. I know it. But I'm going to say this week in the W, the omission of Caitlin Clark. I don't have my soundboard up. I'm doing this on the fly. I'm doing this on the fly. And Droid, you should be familiar with the next sound I'm going to play because I play it in the morning. Try again. This week in the W, the omission of Caitlin Clark. As news began to circle that Caitlin Clark has been omitted from the USA team, some say excellent. The others say emotional damage. A lot of us just say then news came down that she was added as an alternate. An alternate. Once again, she was added as an alternate. Then the question was posed. Are you here to play? Are you here to grow the game? Or are you here to win the game? And whoever posed that question got this question in return.
Who in the blue hell are you?
Continuing on, the plot thickens. Caitlin Clark, not even wondering
what in the all types of blue hell,
but wonder about the USA team, but wondering
what in the all types of blue hell
can I do to help my game and my team?
I think I just broke my chair.
Because I don't know anything about USA basketball as an adult yet.
Do you believe it?
I'm totally doing this on the fly. They will take a 2-week break for the Olympics, and Caitlin Clark gets time to rest.
Excellent.
That's about all I got right now. I haven't done a script for this, but tune in next week. Same time, same channel for This Week in the W. That's about all I could come up with off the cuff. But if y'all want me to continue that, let me know, and I'll produce a piece each week with that title. Matter of fact, let's put it over. Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to continue that segment. I'll wait for the votes to come in. Now the meat of the program. Because I've been here 38 minutes, and I don't want to stay too much longer because the Celtics are going to sweep the Dallas Mavericks, and the Mavericks are going to tank after that. I must give me this. I must ask the question to the WNBA right now.
How do you fuck that up? How do you fuck that up?
Yeah, the most celebrated class in your league since the class of Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird. And you're letting it slip away. As I said, this is your bag, WNBA, in the form of Caitlin Clark. This is you dropping it. Any questions? Sooner or later, Caitlin Clark is going to walk away from this and just think and just go to Ice Cube, and Ice Cube will say, you don't even have to ask. And I hate saying that because she is the reason. Let me say this out loud. She is the reason. Caitlin Clark is the reason that the WNBA is in a lot of relevance right now. Granted, there's a lot of drama supporting this. No, not supporting, surrounding this. There's a lot of drama surrounding this. And a lot of this drama has to deal with the players that are already there who take a look at Caitlin Clark and think, I have to step my game up. How dare she? What's the matter with that? I thought y'all were competing in the best league in the world. And also, to borrow from BGS, the WNBA has complained for their entire existence that they're losing money. And they have kicked around the idea of surviving on their own. Problem is, they can't. To use BGS's words, the NBA is the WNBA's baby daddy. Caitlin Clark is setting attendance records, and yet they're going to lose. They're on track to lose $52 million. Let me say that again. Record attendance, record ratings, loss of $52 million. Even with Caitlin Clark in tow, setting all these records, setting all these marks, I just need to know something.
How do you fuck that up? How do you fuck that up?
Because they have royally fucked it up. Bad. Bad. And I have a very important question. And no, it's not that clip. I'll play it again when I close out. Where's the commissioner in all this? Everybody knows about Caitlin Clark getting beat up and all the hard fouls she's taking. And part of that is because she's getting playoff defenses. Let's talk a few X's and O's here. She's getting playoff defenses early in the season. Hell, Connecticut is running away with everything. Running away with the best record in the WNBA right now. But just tell me, where is the commissioner with all this debauchery going on? The fact that your league is being exposed on live television on an almost daily basis, and you're not taking advantage of it. In fact, you're complaining for more attention. Which brings me to this. I did a video a couple of days ago featuring her. I'm not even going to say her name because my throat's dry. It's already parched. But you know what? I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to leave it here because I said it wouldn't be too long. I'll do something longer probably tomorrow. But I got one vote for continuation of This Week in the W. So I'm going to produce it and I'm going to see what happens to get some traction behind it. Thank y'all for hanging out with me for these past 45 minutes. I wasn't as organized as I thought I would be, but you guys showed up and I appreciate it. And I appreciate the super chats and the Cash App donations and everything. Until next time, let's dance our way out of here, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers that are watching. So long, folks.